Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Storytime. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I am glad we're here together, back for another story together, back for more learning together. Thank you so much for joining in. And as always, please let us know where you're joining in from and who is joining in with you. Thank you for being here with us. And of course, as always, if you're joining in alone, you're still very welcome here to Storytime. And if this is your first time, well, welcome, and definitely hoping to see you here many more times. And of course, if you're coming back, well, welcome back to Storytime, and hopefully we're back again tomorrow and many other days after that. Thank you for joining us here today. We bring back a favorite here on Storytime. This one is called The Tiny Giant. It is written by Barbara Ciletti and illustrations by CATHY Morrison. And we are reading this one with permission of SCHIFFER Kids. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you and cannot wait to share this one here on Storytime. Welcome, and thank you for being here. And of course, too, please keep an eye out. So we'll be bringing in guests here to Storytime, and so keep a lookout for who's coming here. Excited for all the amazing guests that I've so far confirmed there. That they will be here to read us a story and of course be in conversation with us here on Storytime. So keep an eye out for that. Excited for those guests coming our way. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Tiny Giant coming right up. This one from SCHIFFER Kids. A big thank you to them indeed for allowing us to share this one here on Storytime. Barbara Ciletti and of course illustrations by CATHY Morrison. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. And also to Marietta Apollonia has a brand new book that came out on March 26th. It is out and about in the world. Find it at your local library. Find it wherever else that you find books. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime today. Absolutely thrilled to be here with you. Yes, The Tiny Giant coming right up. Please get comfortable, get cozy, get everything that you need to make this Storytime even better. And you will notice too, there will be April 22nd, Monday is Earth Day, and so we'll definitely be looking at more books like The Tiny Giant. And of course, tomorrow we'll bring you Over and Under the Rainforest, from Kate Messner and of course Christopher Silas Neal. We'll be bringing that one, and then on Monday we'll bring you My Friend Earth, and we'll be looking at other books like that. And this year's theme, if I'm not mistaken, I think it is planet versus plastic, or plastic versus planet. So what are we doing? And I know I'm guilty of this myself sometimes, feeling like, oh, it's convenient to just grab that plastic water bottle, but hey, we need to do our part. We need to reflect on what we're doing, what we're using, and be better. Thank you so much for joining in Storytime today. Absolutely love it that we're here together, and of course remind each other, we learn from each other, and of course we're in community together. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime, and join me on the other side side of this short break when we're back with today's amazing book, The Tiny Giant. This one coming to us from Barbara Ciletti and, of course, Cathy Morrison and SCHIFFER Kids. A big thank you to them indeed for allowing us to share this wonderful book here on Storytime. Get comfortable, get cozy. I'll catch you on the other side of this very short break when we're back with more Storytime.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Davis. I'm a children's book author, illustrator, and high school art educator. I am the author of 30,000 Stitches, the inspiring story of the National 9/11 flag, illustrated by Sally Warren Comport and published with Worthy Kids Hachette Book Group. One thing that drew me to writing 30,000 Stitches was the idea that people from all different communities came out to stitch this flag and make it whole again. So I hope that when people read 30,000 Stitches, they remember the power of sharing our stories. When people came out to stitch the flag, they shared their stories, whether about loss or pain or love. We all have stories to tell, and by sharing our stories and listening to one another's stories, we can create a better understanding of each other and create a sense of connection and unity. And this is what creates a more inclusive world. I hope you enjoy your story time with Mr. Limata. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Yes, a more inclusive world and also a responsible world, right? Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Thank you, as always, Amanda Davis. And of course, do check out her amazing books, 30,000 Stitches, and of course, Moonlight Memories. Do check out those beautiful books and beautiful conversations that we've had here on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining us here today. We do have a fantastic book to read together. This one is called The Tiny Giant, coming to us from Barbara Ciletti and Cathy Morrison. And of course, we're reading this one with permission of the publishers, SCHIFFER Kids. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Here we go. Let me just get this ready. All right, we are good. Are you ready? The Tiny Giant, written by Barbara Ciletti, illustrated by Cathy Morrison, and read with permission of the publishers, SCHIFFER Kids. And I love the dedication in this book as well to all you kids, amazing kids that join in Storytime, and of course, kids all over. For our children, believe that you're important. Go out and do great things. Yeah. For our children, all our children, believe that you're important. Go out and do great things. And that's from Barbara Ciletti. And in addition, Cathy Morrison says, you're all tiny giants in my eyes. Yes. Go out and do great things. Spring breezes sweep winter away, and blossoms parade along the branches of the tall oak. Yeah. Good morning, Cathy. How are you doing today? Sunny out in Ohio after a raining afternoon yesterday. Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here with us. Good morning to you, Luna, as well. Harry, Megan, thank you so much for joining in. And talking of spring, right? This lovely image that we have here is courtesy of Ari and Megan. Thank you for sharing this one from last year. Spring last year. Yeah, I hope that your spring is also looking just as beautiful. Spring breezes sweep winter away, and blossoms parade along the branches of the tall oak. Wow. Buds dress in sleeves of summer's glory. Yeah. Buds dress in sleeves of summer's glory. Acorns sprout and green leaves cluster everywhere. Yeah. Acorns sprout and green leaves cluster everywhere. Just before the first frost of autumn, the tall oak rains hundreds and hundreds of acorns. Good morning to you, Megan. How are you doing? Warm and foggy out in Berea. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, adorable artwork, beautiful artwork by CATHY Morrison in this one for sure. Just before the first frost of autumn, the tall oak rains hundreds and hundreds of acorns. Squirrels gather their food for the winter, and bears fatten up for long winter naps in their dens. Yeah. Who's calling me now? 1 second. Sorry about that. Just before the first frost of autumn, the tall oak rains hundreds and hundreds of acorns. Squirrels gather their food for the winter, and bears fatten up for the long winter naps in their dens. We got some chubby bears. Blue jays fly off with full beaks, but one tiny acorn drops into a valley where only grasses grow. It falls from away up high, not a bit broken or bruised. Yeah. Blue jays fly off with full beaks, but one tiny acorn drops into a valley where only grasses grow. It falls from way up high, not a bit broken or bruised. Nestled into a bed of soil, winter comes to cover the tiny nut with a blanket of soft white snow. Yeah. A tiny acorn falls from way up high, falling into a valley where only grasses grow. Not a bit bruised or broken. Nestled into a bed of soil, winter comes to cover the tiny nut with a blanket of soft white snow. Winter continues on as the acorn lies in silent darkness. In the ground below, where small creatures stay safe and warm, even insects come and go. Yeah. Winter is upon us. Winter continues on as the acorn lies in silent darkness. In the ground below, where small creatures stay safe and warm, even insects come and go. Yeah, it's a whole world down there. When the sun warms the soil again and rains soften the earth, the small seed grows unnoticed, pushing against its shells and bursting open. A tiny root bud begins to form. Wow. Yeah. When the sun warms the soil again and rains soften the earth, the small seed grows unnoticed, pushing against the shell and bursting open. A tiny root bud begins to form. Wow. The seed sprouts. It pops up out of the darkness and reaches toward the sun without making a sound. It's quiet. Its roots are small but sturdy, and it peaks above the ground. Wow. Yeah. The seed sprouts. It pops up out of the darkness and reaches toward the sun without making a sound. Its roots are small but sturdy, and it peaks above the ground. Ah. Hope you make it, little one. The sun's heat and the warm summer rain feed the little seed as it sends a single spare thread of life toward the sky. Wow. Nature is amazing, isn't it? The sun's heat and the warm summer rain feed the little seed as it sends a single spare thread of life toward the sky. Yeah. Up, up, up it goes, through frost and snow and rain, until finally warmed by summer's sun. Yeah. This little seedling has been through it all. Yeah. Up, up, up it goes, through frost and snow and rain, until finally warmed by summer's sun. Yeah. Oh, this is the page that always trips me up. Here we go. The spare sapling grows taller with each passing year. Through autumn, winter, spring, and summer, now mighty and round it stands, a giant laden with acorns. They too will tumble, then sleep, then crack open to send their own thin threads toward the sun. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. The spare sapling grows taller with each passing year. Through autumn, winter, spring, and summer, now mighty and round it stands, a giant laden with acorns. They too will tumble, then sleep, then crack open to send their own thin threads toward the sun. Oh, look at that. Amazing. Threads that will grow into seedlings, making a valley into a forest from the efforts of just one. Yeah. Threads that will grow into seedlings, making a valley into a forest from the efforts of just one. Yeah. This part always reminds me of saying in one of the languages in Zambia, and I'll come back to that. But that is the end of our story for today. That is the end of our story, and it does go on to talk about the different kinds of acorns in there, and also Arbor Day, which we won't go into reading today. But with Earth Day coming up, just a quick mention what Arbor Day is. Fun fact, Arbor Day is a national holiday celebrating all the reasons to be thankful for trees. It traditionally falls on the last Friday of April every year. And did you know Arbor Day is not like other holidays? Each of those reposes the past, while Arbor Day proposes the future. And Arbor Day began in Nebraska City, Nebraska on April 10th, 1872. Julius Sterling Morton and his wife, Carolyn, dedicated a single day for planting and celebrating trees. It is estimated that Nebraskans planted 1 million trees that first day, and at least 250 million new trees of all varieties have been planted since then. And if you get this book, you can read a little bit more about Arbor Day in the back and maybe see too how you can participate, maybe plant a tree or two Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. I'll be right back after this short break and we'll talk more about the book. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you.
Hello, I'm Brianna Carzu, the author and illustrator of Lou, and you're watching Storytime with Mr. Limata.
Welcome back. Thank you so much, Brianna Kazoo, author of Lou, and of course, Green Light, which is also out. So find those at your local libraries. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime today. Absolutely appreciate you. And yes, this part, I just want to go back to this one part, and it says, threads that will grow into seedlings, making a valley into a forest from the efforts of just one. And in Zambia, there is a saying in the Bemba tribe that says, Bemba language, that says, Imiti kula empanga. It means like the seedlings of today, the saplings of today are the forests of tomorrow. Yes, the giants of tomorrow. So let's nurture those little ones. Let's nurture those little ones so they can thrive and definitely make a difference. And like we said at the beginning of the book, if we encourage them, if we allow them to grow, then they can believe that they're important, and they should know that they're important and can go out and do great things. Yes, they're all tiny giants in our eyes. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And we'll continue with the theme of celebrating the earth, reminding ourselves of what we need to do to take care of this planet, to take care of our home. And tomorrow we come back with Over and Under the Rainforest. What's happening? Who lives there? What can we do to help? Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Kate Messner is back again, teaming up with Christopher Silas Neal for this classic. So join us then tomorrow and get to enjoy that. And remember too that April 22nd is Earth Day, and it is coming right up. So on Monday we'll be reading My Friend Earth. And of course, to encourage you to look at to check out your local library and see what activities they have lined up, and also see how you can participate. And of course, continue to educate ourselves, inform ourselves, and see how we can help, how we can participate in taking care of the environment. I know personally I'm guilty of sometimes using things that I feel should not be. Plastic bottles, for example. Let's try and use more reusable bottles, and other things that could be responsible for the planet. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you. And thank you to everybody that was joining us, whether you're joining us here live or indeed are joining us later on for the recordings. Kathy, thank you for being here. Absolutely appreciate you. Out there in Ohio, and you saying it is sunny today after rain yesterday. It must smell so fresh. I love that. Immediate smell of freshness after the rains. Thank you so much for being here with us today on Storytime. Absolutely appreciate you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. And you too, Luna. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime. Missy, wishing you a lovely day too. Thank you so much for joining us, Megan, and of course Ari out there in Berea, Kentucky. Thank you for being here. And you say, what adorable artwork from our book today, and it is fantastic artwork indeed, done by Cathy Morrison. And our book today was written by Barbara Ciletti, and we were reading it with permission of the publishers, SCHIFFER Kids. Thank you so much for joining us here on Storytime, and couldn't agree with you more. Nature is amazing and beautiful indeed. Thank you so much for being here on Storytime. I hope that you have an opportunity to get out there and enjoy the beauty of nature. Thank you so much for being here with us on Storytime. Please have yourselves a wonderful day. This has been Storytime on this beautiful Thursday morning out here in the Bay. It is getting a little bit warmer out here. We had a nice warm day yesterday, and of course looking forward to today as well. And of course, this has been Storytime for this beautiful morning, and we'll be back again tomorrow with another exciting story to round up the week. Over and Under the Rainforest. Kate Messner and Christopher Silas Neal, and of course Chronicle Books of San Francisco, coming back tomorrow for this wonderful story. Today it was all about the tiny giants. This one coming to us from Barbara Ciletti, Cathy Morrison, SCHIFFER Kids. Thank you so much for making the time to be here on Storytime, for choosing to be here on Storytime. And we know how busy life can get, we know how busy days can be, but you took that time time to be here with us, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Absolutely appreciate you. Much love from me, and I will see you again tomorrow when we're back with more story time. Bye-bye.
Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time. Ooh, story time. Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing